So a join is nothing but joining multiple tables on the basis of common column name. Okay. So yesterday we have seen the example of joining what kind of data, guys? Aadhaar data and Aadhaar PAN linked data. I have shared my screen. Let me know once you are able to see my screen. So quickly recap, guys, the yesterday discussion. So this left side source, it is Aadhaar source. How many columns it containing? How many columns we have
Two
in left
columns.
side?
Three.
3 columns. Aadhaar, name, pin code. And the other side, the right side source, how many columns we are having, guys?
2 columns.
Aadhaar and linked date. Okay, good. So now what is the common column between these two sources?
Other.
Aadhaar number is common source, common column. Okay. Now, so we are having possible join types in Power BI. First one is equijoin. What equijoin will do? Equijoin will fetch data from two different sources by matching data from the common column. So when we look at these two sources, yeah, Aadhaar is our common column. On the basis of common column data, only 1111 and 3333, these records are matching in the two sources. That's why we are getting for these three columns with these three values from left side source this way, and matched records from right side source, these two columns, Aadhaar and linked date, respective matched records from the right side source. This is the result of a equijoin. So I'll remember, equijoin will always return matched records on the basis of common column. And other type of join is outer join. In outer join, we are having three types of joins: left outer join, right outer join, full outer join. Left outer join returns data from two sources, from both left and right sources, both matched records from left and right sources, and unmatched records from left side source. So in our example, matched records are 1133, 1133 returned. After that, unmatched records from left to right, that is 2222 available in left side source but not available in right side source, and 4444 available in left source and unavailable in right side source. So left outer join returns matched records plus unmatched records from the left side source. Left outer join to left outer join, left side we are having Aadhaar source, which is this, and right side we are having this source. Okay, I'll give a color code so that you'll understand better. Okay, so this is your right side source and this is your left side source. Now tell me, guys, with this understanding, what is right outer join? What is right outer join?
It's give unmatched data from right source.
It's give matched data. It will give matched data from both the
Data.
sources as well as
Non-matching records in right
right
side
from
source.
right side source. Okay, so it is about right outer join. What about full outer join, guys?
It will give both sides matching records and non-matching records.
Perfect. Both sides matched records and unmatched records. Whenever you say you call both sides, it is like left and right, guys. Left and right, left side and right side. So it is more relevant. Those are more relevant words when we use. Okay, 1 second. Let me match here. Good. So with this color code, you'll be able to understand these things whenever you have a look. So guys, you people practicing regularly things? I hope you people are practicing. Okay, good. So that's all about joints, guys. I mean, this left hand, sorry, inner and inner or inner or equi or simple or natural. These many names you have for this joint. the right side outer joins. Now we will learn about few more joins, guys. So I'll take same example. So here I'll paste these two sources as is. We are having two more additional joins with respect to outer join, which behave similar way to outer joins. Those are right anti and left anti. Right anti join and left anti join. Okay. What does it mean, guys? Right anti and left anti. Just by looking at the name, did you get something? So right outer, what right outer doing, guys?
Right outlet will give matching records both sides and non-matching records only right side
Right
source.
side. Now right anti
Right hand it will give only non-matching records in right side source.
from right side source. And left anti.
It's quite opposite. It will give only non-matching records in left side source.
Now we'll learn that one through example. So we are having these two sources. And if I say right anti, it will give records like which are, it will exclude matching records, guys. It is almost like right outer join. But from the right outer join, if we exclude matching records, then what will be the output? As part of right out join, we will get matched records from both the sources 1133, 1133 and unmatched record from right side source, right? So in right anti join, we will not get matched records, guys. We will not get matched records. In right anti join, we will not get matched records. We will get records from the right side
Only
source which are
non-matching
not
records.
matched. So as other source, left side source not having any match, it will contain only null values for this record. Okay. Clear, guys?
Yes,
Okay. And with this understanding, tell me left anti join.
double two, double four,
So records
null.
from the left outer join will give you matched records from the both the sources, left and right sources, and unmatched records from the left source. So from the left outer join, if we exclude matched record, then it will become left anti join. Left anti join. So unmatched records, I mean 2222 is not having any match in right source, and 444 also not having any
444.
match, and here we'll have only null values because no
Null
match found.
values.
So these guys,
Yes.
cards unavailable in the left source, and this one, the cards unavailable in the
Right source.
right side source. Clear, guys?
Yes, it's clear.
Right anti and left anti joins. Now we'll go through self join, guys. Next one is self join. Okay. This one is inner and outer joins. Self join. So guys, we have seen the example of employee and department tables. Remember, everyone? We have seen the example of EMP ID, EMP name, department ID. Okay, and salary part was there, and here I'll add manager ID. So guys, I'll give data like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Now employee name, I'll say ABC. I'll remove department ID here, guys, for now. And so guys, in an organization, if you have 100 employees, and out of those 100 employees, few employees are working at level 1, and a few more employees are working on level 2, that is bosses of level 1 employees. Level 2 employees are bosses of level 1 employees, and level 3 employee are bosses of level 2 employees, and directors are bosses of level 3, and chairman is boss of directors. So this is the hierarchy, let's suppose. But even though we are having any kind of employee, any different role they play, irrespective of that, every person is an employee in the organization. True or not? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. The same thing we are going to learn. So we are having 10 employees, and this guy having some salary, something like this way, and this guy is not having any manager ID because he is supreme. He is not having any manager. Okay. And this guy having salary this much, and this guy having manager as 1. Can I say this way? Because BCD having manager ABC. So what is employee ID of ABC, guys? What is employee ID of ABC?
One.
One.
That's why that reference I'm maintaining in the manager ID column. Getting my point? Instead of maintaining ABC, I'm just maintaining reference as 1. Employee 1. Employee ID 1 is manager of BCD. So with this information, can we tell the name of manager for BCD?
ABC.
ABC. ABC.
ABC.
That's all. ABC.
Manager of
BCD is ABC.
BCD.
Yeah. So similar way, I'm having these employees. Boss. Okay. For him, boss is 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. And we're having employees who reports to 6, 7. Yes, if you try to recollect the example of employee and department, we were having two different sources. Employee as a separate table and department was in a separate table. So the common column lies in two different tables. Department ID in employee table and department ID in department table. That way we were having common column in two different tables. But whereas here common columns living in the same table, residing in the same table. True or not? Common column data remaining this living in the same table. Employee ID is main key column and its reference column, which is a common column, manager ID, lying in the same table. So when we have main key column and its reference key column in the same table, then such kind of tables, on top of such tables, if we want to retrieve any data, we use self joins. Because other joins, inner join, outer join, left anti, right anti joins are performed on two different sources. But whereas when it comes to self join, we have to perform join operation on the two different aliases of the same data table. Two different aliases in the sense, what I'll say, this is one source. I load this source one time in Power BI. After that, I load the same source one more time in Power BI. Okay. I'll name these two sources. We can rename the queries in Power Query Editor. If you remember, guys, you people remember, we can rename the queries. Like I'll say this one as employee data. I can call this as manager data. I'm having two different queries. Now, if I want to get an output saying, instead of names, I want to get information like this. Okay. True or not, guys? It is matching same like 1, 1, 2, 3, sorry, 2, 3, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. So I want to see my data in this manner by joining these tables, these two tables. So I'm having only one single table, but we will duplicate the same source after loading into Power BI. We will take one more source and we'll name those sources as employee as one thing and manager as one other thing. And we will match data in that manner, guys. In which manner? We will match common column data from employee this value, and to manager data, which column we have to match, guys?
Manager ID.
Manager ID. Perfect. This way, then only we'll come to know wherever this one matches with this employee ID, that employee name will be picked and shown as manager. This way. Similar way, so I'll this way I'll add data. Okay. Now on the basis of these two columns, we have to get manager name. Clear, guys? Now our query working on the same data source, two copies of the same data source. One side common column is employee ID, other side common column is manager ID, and we are matching these two IDs, and we are bringing that. See, we are matching employee ID one. See, reverse way. From this manager data, we will try to match one with the employee data. Wherever one is there, that name ABC will be pulled and added as a manager name, because we are matching value from manager ID column. So for this manager ID column, we are finding employee name, and that employee becomes manager for that particular record. Guys, clear? Yes, everyone clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So this is self join, guys, and I'm going to discuss about one more join, which is called cross join. So in case of cross join, we will not have any common column criteria, guys. So I'll tell you what that is. Anyway, cross join will be applied on two different sources again. So here I'll take an example of class subjects. So I'll say grade something like class name, subject ID, subject subject name. So here I'm having, let's suppose 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm having only 5 classes. First class, second class, third class, fourth class. This way. And in the subject table, I'm having sources like mass, science, English. So I'm having only 3 subjects. Let's suppose this way. I'm having math, science, and English. Okay. Now, do we have any common column here, guys?
No.
No. Value might be like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 are looking as common, but those are entirely different. It is class related columns, and these are subject related columns. We are having two different sources, class and subject. Here, for first class, all these three subjects are eligible, and for second class, all three subjects are applicable, and for third class, fourth class, fifth class, for each class, all the subjects are applicable. In such cases, if we have any such requirement with two different data sources, then we will load data into Power BI using cross join. So cross join will not look for any common column. This is class, this is subject. Remember, cross join do not require any common column. So when we apply cross join between two sources, then for each of the left side source, for each record of the left side source, all the records from the right source will be repeated. Example is, for each record of the left side source, for each records of left side source, all the records of right side source will be repeated this way. First class, first mass, first class, first, second mass science, first class, third English. And the same way, for the second record, all the 3 records from the right side source will be repeated. Guys, following me?
Yes, sir.
For third
Yes.
record, all the records from the right side source will be repeated. And fourth record from the left side source, all the records from the right side source will be repeated. And the final record, all the right side record will be repeated. Now, if you look at this cross join result, it makes sense or no sense, guys? First class math subject, first class science subject, first class English subject makes sense because in first class we can have these 3 subjects. Second class math, second class science, second class English. Makes sense or not, guys? It makes sense, right? Is following me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is cross join, guys. Cross join will return Cartesian product. Cartesian product nothing but the multiplication of number of rows from each side. Cross join will return Cartesian product. What is meaning of Cartesian product, guys? Multiplication of number of records
Records.
from each source.
Also,
In our
source
case,
from the
in our
source.
case,
Yes.
how many records from class table? 5 records. How many records from subject table?
3.
3
3. 3
records.
records. What is total, guys?
15.
15.
Is equal to 5 into 3. 15. See here. If you go and select the output and see 15 records came in the output. Clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Now we will look at the need of, these are the joins, guys. These are the joins. Okay. Now we will look at the need of having need of joins. Why we need joins here in Power BI? As Power BI able to understand the relation between 2 different sources, and it is able to form a relation. And when we try to pull 2 different fields from the 2 different sources and try to drop in a visual, then is it able to visualize the data there. But still, why we need joins here? That we'll look at. Okay. Now, what is cross join, guys?
Multiple records in
There is no common column in class join.
No common column is
and
required.
also
No common column is required. Perfect.
multiple records in one table to another table. One source to another source.
Mhm. No common column
Multiplication.
criteria is required. So for each record of the left side source, all the records of right side source will be repeated. You remember that. It returns a Cartesian
Yes, sir.
product. For each record, see, each record, the same record repeating in the left side and right side record, all the records from right side table are repeating for every single record of left side source. Remember that. Okay. Now I'll take a new source. I'll take the same old example, EMPID. Why should I go for this? So we're already having that file, right? Yesterday, I've seen that example. I believe so. If I'm not wrong. Let me open this file, guys. Yeah, we are having here, right? Employee data. But we do not have department data, no problem. We'll copy this one to a new file. I'm taking a new file. And here what I'll do, take a sheet, go to data. We'll remove duplicates. It becomes department master. We'll simply paste here and add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll say department ID, department name, and in this source, I'll do 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5. Clear? Yes, I have given names. Earlier I have used names. Now I have given department ID as DPT ID. Okay, I'm saying Giants demo. I'm saving this file too. So where is Power BI? Inside Day12. I'm pasting. Okay. Now I'm having how many sheets of data? 2 sheets. One sheet containing employee data with the department ID, and second sheet containing department information with the department ID. And department ID from both the sheets is a common column criteria. And see, I'm going to Power BI. In Power BI, I'm going to transform data option. I'm using this transform data option, and it will open me which window, guys?
Power Query
Power
Editor.
Query Editor.
Perfect. Power Query Editor. Anyone in the lobby? No one, right? Okay. Okay. It has opened as a Power Query Editor. So now in this editor, we are allowed to choose that new source. I'm going to new source. I'm choosing the Excel workbook, and I'm going to select our sample data in the browse window. Okay, we haven't. Book 4, okay, with the name book 4 we have saved this file. Okay, no problem. So in book 4 I'm selecting, clicking on open. So we will be opened with a navigator window where we are allowed to select a sheet which will extract the data. See here. See, so we are shown with 2 sheets of data. First sheet is of employee data, and second sheet is of department data. I'm clicking on OK. Okay, so our data will be loaded into Power Query Editor, and 2 sheets we are seeing here. So these sheets I can name at any time. Like I'm selecting sheet 1, I can go here to the query properties. In this query properties, I'll change this one as employee data. And left side sheet 2, I'm selecting. I'm renaming this as department data. Okay, and now I'm not doing anything else. I'm simply closing and saving. So what happens? Our data will be loaded to our Power Pivot, which is data view and model view. Let's see, allow it some time to load. Processing is happening in the background. We'll see load pop up in a while. Yeah, loading. So here Power BI will be automatically detecting the relationship between the sources which you have selected. Right guys, I have shown you where to look for that option. So there is an option which is selected by default in Power BI options and settings. That's why whenever data is loaded into Power BI, that time data will be scanned for a relationship detection. If a relationship is detected, then Power BI will automatically create a relation between the sheets like tables or sources that we imported or loaded. Okay. So see guys, detecting relationship. The first loaded, after that detecting relationship, after that 10 rows loaded. Okay, now your data got loaded. I mean 10 employees data and 5 departments data got loaded to Power BI, data view and model view. Okay, now see. I'll go to data view to look at the data. What's the sound? Okay. See, right side I'm having two queries, like two tables or two sources of data loaded. Employee data is fuzzing. So department data is fuzzing. After that, employee data is getting shown. When you look select this data, you'll come to know like what is the exact data that got loaded, because we haven't transformed anything. Whatever department ID is there as is, we have loaded. And we are going to department data, department ID, department name, employee data, employee ID, employee name, department ID, shift and salary. Now go to model view, you will be able to see a relation created between these two sources, employee data and department data. When you focus on this relation, it will highlight department ID in both the tables, and the relation is drawn from department table to employee data, saying one occurrence of a department table entry will have multiple occurrences in employee data table. That is true, because department will be only one entry in department table. For under that department, we can have multiple employees working. That's why it is one to many relationship, one to star. Okay, clear guys?
Clear, sir.
Okay, now go to your report
Yes,
view.
sir.
Yeah, go to your report view. In the report view, under data section, we are having multiple values seen, like department name is there in department data, and um, employee count is employee information available under employee data. Now I want to know the department wise employee count. So I'll simply add a small graph here. To this graph, I'll add department, okay, and I'll add employee ID. So it will give me department wise employee count. See guys, production, if you focus on this, 3 employees. If you focus on purchase, 2. If you focus on sales, 2. Sorry, I'll do a focus mode here. See now, production having 3 employees, purchase having 2 employees, sales having two employees, stores having 2 employees, whereas admin is only 1 employee. Clear guys? Department name is coming from department source and employee count is coming from employee source. How Power BI able to manage two different fields from two different sources? Because those two sources, department and employee data sources, are having a relation on the common column department ID. That's why whenever I drop department name here, immediately on the basis of department ID, it will check for the department ID what is the employee count. That employee count, and I have chosen employee ID also. So for that department ID, match department IDs, what is the employee count? That count is getting rendered as a column chart. Clear guys?
Clear, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now
Yes, sir.
I'll add one table here. In that table, I'll add employee name and department name. Employee name is coming from employee source and department name is coming from department source. But how Power BI able to understand this employee belongs to purchase, this employee belongs to sales this way? The reason, again, common column is the criteria. On the basis of common column, Power BI able to understand for this employee, this is department ID. On the basis of this department ID, from department data, this is the department name. So this way it is mapping and showing our data, rendering our data. Clear guys? I'm again going back to my report. Okay, this way we are able to create visuals from different sources without joining data from these two sources. I haven't joined any data here. I have loaded individual sheets. I have selected an Excel file as a source. Under that Excel file, I am having these two sheets. I have selected both the sheets and both those sheets are added as a two different sources in my Power Query Editor as well as in my Power Pivot and Data View. I'm having two different sources here, but those sources are related. That's the only thing, additional thing. Clear so far? Everyone clear so far?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now as my data is very limited right now, because my employee data is only 10 employee record. I'm having only 10 records of employees, 10 employee records in my table. So that time Power BI able to quickly render your visual on the basis of relation, and it is able to give you the output immediately. But what if your data is having huge number of rows, like 10,000, 50,000, 1 lakh rows, 1 lakh employee data? Then Power BI additionally has to spend time not only fetching department name from this source, and it has to check the relation every time. On the basis of relation, it has to fetch the respective employee name and respective department name here. And for this visual, it has to fetch employee count for this department by scanning through your employee data every time based on the relation. So it will take some amount of memory as well as processing time. Okay, getting my point, guys? Power BI able to understand the relations, and it is able to give us data based on the relations. Based on the relation, we can fetch any other data from those two sources. Those two sources are related on some common column. Okay, but if volume of data that we are importing into Power BI is huge, then we have to better merge these two sources into a single source and create visual on top of a single source. That is advisable, because if we merge these two sources into a single source, that time we'll have single source of data. From the single source of data, no common column criteria will come into picture. From the single source, I can create visuals, and while building these visuals or while creating these visuals internally, the processing of data also will be limited. Instead of going through two sources, it will get the data from the only one source. No common column matching is required. How we merge our data, we'll look at here. So I have shown in this example what I'm saying. In the self join example, I am saying we are having two different sources of data. Sorry, let's suppose it is case of here, right? Okay. So here we are having two different sources of data, employee data and department data. Both are related on the basis of common column department ID. So instead of maintaining department IDs like this, what if I transform my data such a way that instead of department ID, I'll get department name in this data itself. So a single source will be enough for me to load into Power BI and do whatever visuals, create whatever visuals I need. Clear, right, guys? Guys, clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Now we'll go to our transform data section again. I'll open transform data section again. So it will contain how many sources, guys? How many queries? Two queries. Employee data is one query. And what is second query?
Department head.
Perfect. Department data. Data. Okay. So we're having two sources here. Now I am allowed to merge these two sources on some common column. What is a common column here?
Department
Department
head.
ID and employee data.
Department ID.
Department ID and department data. These are the common columns. Now Power Query Editor allows us to merge two sources using this option, merge queries, which is available under home tab. If you go here, merge queries. So if you drill down the options available under merge queries, we are having two options. One is merge queries, second one is merge query as new. Let's suppose, and what are the steps? Change type so far. So what I'll say, I'll choose first option, merge queries. It will open a window saying it loads first table from your source, employee data, it is showing, and it allows you select second source in the drop down below. I'll select department data. As you are there in the employee data screen right now, when you choose merge option from this employee data screen, it has loaded your employee data as a left side table. After that, right side table is department data. And what are the common columns? Employee ID and department ID from employee data, department ID from the department data. I have selected those two columns. Now see here, guys, join kind it is asking. Join kind. If I open the drop down, read out, guys. Left outer join. What does it mean? Left outer, all from first, that is left table, matching from second. So the learning is correct, guys. Whatever we have things that we have learned, that is correct. See here, inner only matching rows, left anti rows in first, right anti rows in second, only second. Okay. Now what kind of join we have to use here, guys? We have to use inner join to match the data and get the department name to employee data. Clear, guys? Our requirement is inner join here. Following me, guys?
Yes, sir.
I am selecting inner join as a join kind in this merge window. I am clicking on OK. See, right now we are having two queries. I have chosen merge queries option, and I'm Power BI automatically, Power Query Editor automatically selected one table, because from that particular table view I have opened the merge option, and it has allowed me to select second table, and I have selected common column, and after that I have chosen what kind of join I need to apply. For now I have chosen inner join. I'm clicking on OK. See, guys, what happens to our data. Our existing employee data got affected with a new column added at the end. Guys, notice this department data column, a new column with the name department data added at the end of our employee data source, employee data table. And this is why it's saying it is table, table, table. What is this table? Every time it's saying table, table, table. So what we'll do, on the department data column header, we are having one symbol like this. See here, I choose that. As soon as I choose that, it is saying department ID and department name are available for this record on the basis of matching column. So I'll uncheck this one, use original column names as prefix. I'm clicking on OK. As soon as I do that, matched department IDs along with matched department name against the employee department ID are coming at the end of the employee data table. See, guys, the first five columns are employee table data. Last two columns are from department data table, and we are not having as is data from department table. We are having entries here based on the employee ID, based on the department ID of the employee. That particular department ID and description is getting added at the end of the employee data table. Guys, clear?
Clear, sir.
Yes, sir.
This happened on the basis of common column. Now what I'll do the expanded department data selection and merged query selection as well, because it is affecting my existing employee data source. I don't want that. I have removed merge cells also. Now what I'll do, I'll go and choose merge queries as new. I'm choosing as new option now. As soon as I choose merge queries as new option, same window will be opened. I'll be able to select left and right sources, and I can define what kind of join I have to apply, and I have to select common columns, and I have to click on OK, so that a third table will be created with the result of your merge query. Your existing employee data and department data are not affected with any new column addition. A merge result is getting created as a separate table, employee data as well as matched department data as a table. So that table I will expand. I'll choose this option, I'll uncheck this, I'm clicking on OK. Now see, employee data along with the department data. So now what I'll do, I don't want IDs of department ID from both employee and this table. I'll select them, I'll simply remove those columns, and I can name my query either here or here, but double clicking here, like employee inner join department. This is my query name, and if I click on close and load apply, I will be loaded with the third sheet also in my data. So first 2 3, see, as we have created merge query result, we have merged two data sources, these two data sources, and we have arrived with this result merged output. So only this merge output is required for us to create visuals. We do not require these two sheets of tables of data, because it is again redundant, right? Why do I need separately, as I have merged already? You guys following me?
Yes, sir.
As I have already merged these two sources, why do I need these two sources separately? From this merged source, I can create whatever visual I need, right? So in order to restrict your query data or table data from loaded from Power Query Editor to Power Pivot, you can uncheck this enable load option. I'm right clicking on my query. Employee data is no more required for me to get loaded into Power Pivot. I'm unchecking. It is asking possible data loss warning. Disable load will remove the table from the report, and visuals that use its columns will be broken. I know. Okay, continue, because I have already did that. We have already created a graph and table based on employee data and department data. Those will be lost. I mean, data won't be there. And again, selecting department data and checking enable load. So now these two sources tables are unchecked for loading, because no load will happen. I am clicking on closing and apply, and see how many sources we will be able to see here. As soon as my data gets loaded here, I'll get a pop-up. Yeah. Now visuals are also getting refreshed. Let's see. Visuals last. Something wrong with one or more fields. I'll simply remove these visuals. And even under data section also we are seeing only merge result, guys, not the actual two employee and department sources. See here under data section. Go to your data view. Under data view also I'm seeing only merge result, because I have turned off enable load option for employee data and department data in Power Query data. And go here to model view. In model view also we are seeing only merge result source. Clear, guys? Now by using this data alone from the merge source, you can create whatever graph that you need. Simply I'll go to graph. I'll simply select uh, employee department and employee count. That's all it is giving me. And I'll select a table. I'll select to this table. I'll select employee name and department name. It will straight away fetch department name and employee name from one single source, guys. It will fetch from a one single source. No common column criteria, no matching, and no processing will happen. We can improve performance of our report. Following me?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
this,
Suman.
yeah. So this way we can use joins to avoid combining data sources, data from different sources while rendering our visuals. So this way we can improve our performance, reports performance. Okay. This is about inner join. So just the similar way, I'll go to my source data. So what I'll do here, I'll simply add a department which is called maintenance. I'm having a maintenance department, but I'm not having any employee allocated to that maintenance department so far, and I'm having a new employee joined in my organization, but I haven't assigned any department to that particular employee. So my department column is empty for employees 11 and 2, and my department 6 is not having any employee mapped. Clear, guys? We're having delta data here. Delta data nothing but I'll show you what delta data, because delta data, what is left outer join will return how many records, guys?
Two records.
Left outer join, no, all matched records plus unmatched records, 12 records. Right outer join, all 5
6.
matched records and unmatched 6 record. Okay, now I'll go and refresh here. I do not have any change in my data, because no new employee mapped to any department, so department wise employee count will not affect, and no employee is having a new department assigned. Okay, now I'll go to my Power Query editor. This time I'll create one more source. I'll choose merge queries one more time. Merge queries as new. Here employee data loaded. The same employee data, see guys, it's not the result, merge result. Employee data, the source which you have loaded initially from the Excel file. And here I'll be able to see one additional entry, merge source also. You can join data on top of merge source also. Already merge operation created one more table, right? Now Power BI allows us to select that merge result also if you want to join that one further. But for now I am joining only employee data and department data on the basis of department ID column. Now, see guys, we haven't selected any join type. What is the default join, guys?
Inner join anna.
Left outer join is the default join in Power
Yep.
BI. Left outer join is the default join in Power BI. So I'm selecting OK. Left outer join will give you matched columns from both the tables and unmatched from right side. Sorry, left side. Now see, how many records I got? 12 records.
12.
12.
Yeah. Matched records. Top 10 records are matched with the department data, and last 2 records not matched. Those are having empty department, null department IDs. And here, joining created a table at the end to your result like employee. I'll say employee left outer department. I rename this, and here I'll choose columns from department table, and I'll remove department IDs. That's all. We are not getting additional maintenance department here because that is not matched anywhere. And as it is left outer join, so unmatched records UW, UVW, VWX from left side are having empty department. Those are also getting loaded. Now I'll go and merge query as new. Employee, I can select employee data and I'll select department data. Common column I'll select and I'll say right outer. What it will give is, it will give you matched records from both the sources and unmatched record from the right side source. See here. Right outer join. So from the right side, whichever departments that got matched, production, admin, those related employee data is also coming. See from the right side, here right side which table guys? Employee right outer department. Right side we are having department data, left side employee data. As it is right outer join, we are getting all the matched records from the right side table because purchase department matched with 2 records in employee data. So that purchase department record came here along with employee data. All matched departments came and one last new maintenance department also came into picture with employee data as null. The reason, top department records are matched with the employee data, those matched records came. At the end, we are having a new department with the name maintenance, which is not having any match in the employee data, and that's why we are seeing all null values in the employee record. Clear?
Clear, sir.
I'm choosing merge query as new, and now I'm selecting employee data same way. At the top, I'm selecting department data. At below, I have selected common column. Left outer, right outer, full outer I'll select and try to see. 13 rows came. Left outer and right outer given only, see, right outer given you 11 rows. Left outer given you 12 rows. Whereas full outer given you 13 rows. How? 10 matched records from both the tables. 2 unmatched records from left side employee table. One unmatched record from
Right
right
side.
side department table.
Right side did.
Yeah, right side department table. See here. For top 10 records are matched records from both the tables. 11 and 12 records are matched records from employee table, but not matched with department data. This one. And final record is maintenance department record, not matched with employee data. Employee full outer department. Okay. Now go merge queries, merge query as new. I'm selecting employee at the top. I'm selecting department below. And what are the options? Left anti. What is left side table now in this window? First table is nothing but left side table. Right side table?
Department.
Department. Let's select I'm choosing common column. I'm clicking on OK. See here, what employee left anti-department. So the records which are available only in left table but not matched in right table. Employee null, department table null and null. This way. Getting my point, guys? Employee data which is available, which is matched with the department data, that is not coming. The employee data which is not matched with any of the department record, that is coming in the left anti, because left table is employee and right table is department. Clear? I'm choosing merge queries as new. One more. Guys, clear with left anti?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. I'm employee data, department data. I'm choosing right anti and selecting common column and clicking on OK. Only the record, only one record from department table with all null values from the employee table, and that department is 6th maintenance, because unmatched record from right side table to left side table. Only one unmatched record here, which is employee right anti department. Clear, guys? Clear?
Clear, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, so I'm going to merge queries and merge query as see, guys, merge queries will affect existing source, and merge query as new will create a separate table as a result. Merge result as a separate table. It will create merge result as a separate table. That's the only difference. I'm choosing merge queries as new, and I just wanted to see. I want to I want to get cross join result, and I wonder like why cross join is not listed here. We do not have cross join option directly in Power Query. We have to use our own knowledge. We have to do it some logical way and apply some inner join or any other join on the two sources, and it will give you the cross join. Okay. Now, what is cross join, guys? Cross join will not look for any common column between two sources, and it will return Cartesian product. Cartesian product nothing but
Multiple product.
multiplication of number of rows from both the sources. 12 records from left side source into 6 records from right side source. What will be the value, guys? 72. Otherwise, I'll simply add class and subjects thing, and we already have the data, I believe, in our giants example, right? Yeah, first class, and I'm copying subjects. Okay. Now this is book 4. I'm going to Power Query editor. In the Power Query editor, I'm simply right clicking here, new query, and reloading that same Excel file, and here I'm selecting the additional class and whether I've saved or not. I've saved it. Okay. Class and subjects. Sorry. Class and subjects. This is class. First class, second class. This is subject. I'm clicking on OK. Now class and subjects got loaded here. Now what I'll do, to the class I have to add a custom column saying add column, a custom column with a value just as one. Let's suppose a custom column. Yeah, simply as one. All ones are there in the custom column. Go to subject column, add, sorry, subject source, add one custom column the same set of values 1. So now if it is a equijoin, guys, if it is a, what is cross join? For each record all the subject records will be repeated. That's a cross join, right? That's a cross join. For each first class record all 3 subjects will be repeated this way. Now we have added an additional column with the same value 1 in both the sources. Now what if I apply equijoin on this? If I'm having additional column in these 2 sources, if I apply equijoin on the column, common column like this C and F, what happens? First record 1 match with all the ones of right side table. So for each record I'll get all 3 records. Guys, following me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And for the second record 1, common column 1, I'll have all 3 records matched because the common column having only value 1 for all these 3 records. For the third record also I'll have all 3 records matched, right? So this way my cross join is getting achieved. My cross join result is getting achieved. True or not? If I add additional
Yes, sir.
column in those 2 tables and all the values of are the same one, and for each record we'll have all the records getting matched on the right side source. That's why I have added a same value in the 2 sides, in the 2 sources as an additional column. Now I'll simply enable load this one because I don't want to load class and subject. I want to load the result, merge result of class and subject. Now what I have to do? Simply I have to go to home button, merge queries, merge result as new, and I'll choose class and subject below, class versus subject on the basis of common column inner join, and common column is custom column 111. And if I click OK, now tell me guys, cross join will return as Cartesian product, which is nothing but multiplication of number of records from both the sources. What will be the output record count?
15 Anna.
Perfect. 5 into 3, 15. Now see what happened. What happened, guys? For the first record, it is having subject as a table, multiple entries. For the second record, we are having subject as a table. Now go to that last table entry. Now click on OK. See, now we are having 15 records count. First class, math, science, English. For second class, math, science, English. Third class, math, science, English. Fourth class, math, science, English. Fifth class, math, science, English. What is this? Class cross join subject. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Now we'll go to self join. Self join, we need to have this table data to be loaded. So I'll go to my book 4. This is employee, this is department, and this is employee manager data. Okay. Now I'll load this through my Power Query editor. I'll add right click new query, Excel workbook, the same book 4. Under book 4, I am having employee manager data sheet newly added. I hope I have saved my data. Yes, employee manager data came. I'm selecting this. I'm clicking on OK. It got loaded employee and manager ID. What I'll do, I'll simply right click manager data. I'll duplicate this and I'll name this one as employee, and I'll name this one as manager. So I'm having same source as duplicated. Now I'll apply self join, merge result as new, employee on manager data. Common column is employee ID, here manager ID. In manager table, manager ID. In employee table, employee ID. Okay. And now what is, I'll say What I'll say, I can use anything. Default join. I'm just putting default join. Okay. I'm clicking on OK. We got a result like employee self. Why we are calling some self, guys? Because join is applied on the same kind of source, duplicated sources, two different copies of the same source. That's why I'm calling employee self manager. So here employee data against manager data added as a table through the merge option. I'm extracting that manager data. Now see, for employee ABC, what is the manager name, guys? One second, there is something wrong. Yeah, 1 1. One second, guys. I'll just delete this. I'll select my employee data. I'll go here, merge queries. In the merge queries, I have chosen employee. I've chosen manager here, and I have selected manager ID. Okay, so let's suppose reverse way we'll do that. And I'm choosing. Let's suppose go with inner join and see, guys. See, yes, now we are getting data properly. See, for BCD, ABC is the manager. For CD also ABC is the manager. But only thing, for ABC employee record is not available here. The reason is ABC employee is not having any matching manager ID because it is having null value, right? ABC employee is having null value, and he is not having any matching manager ID or employee ID value. That's why that record is excluded here. And go to the setting, expanded manager. Okay. Now, guys, I'll leave it to you. I mean, we can achieve this, not a problem at all. But I'll leave it to you. You people try to figure out and get me that result. Okay. I think only changing proper join type, we can get the output. Only matching rows.
I think common column selection should be manager ID and manager ID, then it will work.
No, no, because if we do manager ID and manager ID, it will not become a self join, right? It will become a different like common column, different common column, right? Not on the same column. So let's stick with this. Yeah, now it came correctly, it seems. And now insert step. Want to insert a step, inserting into a step. Insert. Yeah. See here. Yeah. See here. Now we got correctly. ABC null employee. For JKL, see, for BCD and GDE, CDE, ABC is the manager. For DEF and FGH, BCD is the manager. For EFG, CDE, CDE. Yeah, our data is correct now. As per this employee ID, for this manager ID, employee ID got matched, manager ID, employee ID matched, employee name came. For this employee 4, manager ID is 2, and the employee with this manager ID 2 is this record. That's all. Clear, guys? What is the thing we have chosen? Manager ID at the employee table and employee ID in the manager table, and we have used left outer join. So what happened? Common matched data on the manager ID, matched data from the manager ID, like all non-null manager ID rows are matched, and even unmatched record, which is null record, also came in as an output. Okay, clear, guys?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So that's all, guys. Tomorrow we will discuss about append queries options. Any queries here? Any queries, guys? if no queries, I will conclude today's session, guys.